Hey there, my name is Tamir and I'm the CEO of Adelante. In this video, I'm going to walk you through our hassle-free method of launching Zendesk in 7 days or less, which is really a 5-step framework to implement Zendesk in your company fast. So just a quick background before we dive into how we do this. We work with top companies across all verticals to reduce spend and increase service levels. Built Rewards is a fintech credit card company from New York. Grammarly, you might be familiar, the online grammar correction tool. Some companies from Israel. Airspace is a logistics startup from California, and some other companies from all around the world. So just a few quick case studies before we dive in. So Built, as I said, is a credit card fintech company. They were using Gladly and they needed to migrate to Zendesk with a hard deadline of going off Gladly. And we helped them go live with Zendesk in 7 days for their phase 1 implementation. Airspace is a logistics startup. They were using Zendesk, but they weren't able to get the project off the ground and signed off for their 200 plus agent team. And we helped them solve the technical limitations around Zendesk and get the project going in 7 days. Insta-Telehealth also spent 1.5 years paying Zendesk for the subscription, but weren't using the platform. And their previous partner was just not available for helping them with their setup, and we helped them also go live in 7 days and launch support at a critical time for their company. And if just for you to have some external references for that, you can see this is from our Fiverr profile. Those are verified reviews of people testimonials, essentially, saying that we were able to get their Zendesk live in 7 days. So this is actually happening. We actually managed to get companies live with Zendesk in a week. Just a few more examples. So High Tech Zone, they were using another platform called Combox. They moved to Zendesk. It took 4 months for them to try and set it up by themselves. They weren't successful, and so they reached out to us, and we managed to get their Zendesk working. Practi also switched from HappyFox to Zendesk. They spent 9 months trying to implement Zendesk by themselves, and when they reached out to us, we were able to take them off the ground. And also SmartRike switched from Salesforce to Zendesk, and we help them unify all their support channels and all their e-commerce websites in a single support platform for in Zendesk. So who is this for? If you're a CX leader, if you're the director or VP of CX, if you're working in operations and you're responsible for customer service or customer experience, then this is for you. If you're a C-suite leader and you're tasked with the CX or the CS management, that's also for you. And here's why this matters. Really, our main belief is that you can set up Zendesk fast, and you can do it easier than you would have imagined. The problem is that the two options you have right now, working with freelancers and agencies, they bill you on the hour, and it's not in their best interest to get you started fast, because the longer the project takes, the more hours they can bill. Or you can use an employee to do that, but that will have a big learning curve that you will need to overcome. And so what we are suggesting is that with the right framework, you can reduce the onboarding period and getting Zendesk working as fast as possible. You can remove the risk of making costly mistakes while you are learning the system, and you can scale your business with less employees than you thought were necessary. And we have dedicated the last few years to solving this problem for customer service organizations. That's just a quick background on us. I was working in our family business, international health insurance. We had a number of requests grow with the time difference problems. We implemented Zendesk, and then I figured out it can help other companies. So I established Adelante, and we started implementing Zendesk for different companies. We have now done more than 100 Zendesk-based projects. We found out that we were doing the same setup work over and over again. So we ended up formalizing the process, automating the work, so we can cut the time spent and manage to help our customers go live with Zendesk in 7 days or less. We are also a certified Zendesk implementation partner, Premier implementation partner, which is the highest level of Zendesk partner you can find. And that's it pretty much about us. So when we're looking at setting up Zendesk, you have 5 main steps that you have to go through. You have to actually configure and set up Zendesk. You have to integrate it with your backend platform. You need to train and onboard your team. You need to iterate quickly after launch. And then you have some more steps you need to take for maximum ROI. So when we're looking at setting up Zendesk, you want to keep in mind that the organization is your customer. You want to always have a game plan and know what you're going to do in order to go live in days instead of months. And it's really important to know that if you're doing it by yourself, and even sometimes if you're using like a consultant, you might not get it right the first time, so you want to be prepared to iterate. And some important questions to ask yourself are: how do you support your customers now? How do you want to get that volume of support into Zendesk? What's your time frame? And I think something that's really important is keeping to the right order and prioritizing the functionality before sexy. So if you're jumping into setting up chatbots and all that kind of stuff and connecting Instagram and all the channels before you've connected your email and you've created the agents and the departments and looked at the routing and made sure that tickets are getting to the right people in the right time, then you want to keep to that order and do the functional things before you go into the advanced features. And really we're seeing 2 ways of doing that. The old way is just reading through help center articles from Zendesk or connecting with an hourly consultant and just winging it with no game plan. And that ends up creating a slow implementation process and a wasted time and money. And the new way to do that is to have a game plan. If you know what you're going to do, you will be able to go live in days instead of months. The second thing you need to think about is integrating with your backend. And personally, I and the team here, we always favor no code and ready-made integration instead of you having to develop your own integration. And it's really recommended to keep the customization for a later stage and not just jump into building a full-fledged integration when you have nothing right now. If you have to customize, we really recommend you use no-code API tools. They are like Wix for APIs. And they help you they leave the control of the integrations with the business user versus you having to rely on developers and engineering all the time, because CX is always fighting for resources, and it's very common you not getting the resources, the development resources you need. So don't get placed into the engineering backlog and see how you can do things in the leanest way possible to get your team and your implementation up and running. And if you need to do data migration, if you're coming from a different platform, then really only stress about it after you're live with Zendesk. So first do the onboarding, get your team started with Zendesk, and then start thinking about the data migration. That can also happen at a later stage. It doesn't have to be in a chronological order. So the old way of doing the CRM or integrating with your backend is that your CX agents are either switching between tabs or you rely on engineering, and that results in long time to production, very little flexibility if you want to make a change. And then the new way is using no-code integrations. You have faster time to production, it's easier to change, the cost is lower. A lot of the times we see people using make.com as their integration provider for Zendesk. Here is an example of one scenario that's updating from Klaviyo the users into Zendesk and Zendesk Sunshine. So the agents eventually have the whole customer profile available for them, and they can also see the interactions from that customer if they added something to cart. If they received an email, they can see all of that on the right-hand side in the Zendesk UI. The third job you need to worry about is training and onboarding your agents. So really what you want to do here is create a learning path for your agents with tailored to a specific setup. So you don't want to send them all the generic training from Zendesk. You want to create a training that's adjusted for how you're going to use Zendesk. We really recommend having one advocate leading the training for everybody else. It could be the project manager, it could be someone that has experience using Zendesk in the past. So really rely on someone that will be the point of contact for everything that's related to training, instead of trying to use different people and have team leaders train their team. Having like a single point of contact for everybody in the company to ask their Zendesk question is really valuable. And you keep in mind that you need to have some expertise in how Zendesk works to train the team, but you might not always have that available. So you really want to see how you can build, again, a lean training program that can develop in time. The old way that we see companies doing that is just using generic training from Zendesk or some rep that previously used it but not building any training plan, and then they end up having a knowledge gap and using only 10% of the features, versus the new way, which is creating a customized learning path for the agent, different trainings for the admins, serve the right content in the right time, and then you get more agent and admin independence and you have less resistance to change. The fourth thing you want to take care of is iterating quickly after launch. Zendesk provides support that is platform oriented, not business process oriented. They will just keep sending you articles. You can rely on informal support from communities. It's useful, but it's not always reliable. And really what you want to do is make sure you have someone available for you to guide you in the first month after launching Zendesk, so you can iterate quickly and have short feedback loops and a successful launch. And you can see this is from one of our customers. All the Zendesk rep does is send articles, so that's not very useful most of the times. And the last thing you need to do to have a successful Zendesk implementation is taking some additional steps to make sure you're hitting the maximum ROI and that you're able to create ROI visibility around Zendesk for your executives and management team. So you really need to have a 1-year game plan to see the maximum ROI. You will want to work with third parties and get suggestions from your peers on what tools you want to integrate into Zendesk, and also decide on your checkpoints and goals. A lot of the times we see people just guesstimating what they need to do, and that results in lesser ROI and possibly churning and going into a different platform because you haven't been able to make Zendesk into what you wanted it to be. And then the new way is just making sure you have a 1-year clear game plan that eventually creates ROI visibility at the management level. So if you're looking at the steps that you want to take, so 1 month into your Zendesk launch, you want to look into data migration. That's optional if you came from another platform. 3 months in, you want to measure your internal results, agent project productivity, ticket categories, why people are reaching out to you, and your cost per ticket. 6 months in, you will start automating, so chatbots, agent workflows, voice to messaging, that happens normally there. And then 12 months in, you want to measure your ROI. So can you see that when you implement Zendesk quickly, you connect with your CRM, you provide the agents with a friendly and easy way to learn the platform, and you have a way to iterate and get support after launch, and you have a roadmap for what you need to do next, you can make the Zendesk project succeed within a week. So that's what we're doing here, and that's what we've been seeing so far. And really, what are the alternatives? You can do it in-house, but it will take much more time than you think. It always sounds like a 1-week project, but it ends up taking months. And it will just be a never-ending project that you will have really hard time getting off your list. And the other option is obviously to use a contractor, but then the hourly rates may damage the speed of delivery. And what we are offering is the Zendesk Express product, and for a tenth of the time and money you would spend doing it any other way, we'll get your Zendesk up and running. We're Zendesk certified. We have a fixed price model, so you're not paying hourly. We go live in 7 days or less. You get a clear specification for the implementation. You get a dedicated project manager, and everything that's related to staff and admin onboarding, support after launch, and 1 year game plan is included. So again, this is for leaders in CX or operations, or C-suite leaders that are responsible for CX or customer support management, who want to go live with Zendesk in 7 days or less. Okay, so I'll go over our case studies real quick, and I think what's most important for you to understand is that we never say that something is impossible, when we always find a way to make what you need Zendesk to do work. So you can see here from Great Oaks, this is a charter school in New Jersey. They have been paying Zendesk for several months and weren't using the platform. And we made a commitment to them that they will go live in 7 days or less, and we met that. And that game plan allowed them to know that there is a light in the end of the tunnel. Like they know that it's rough, it's going to take some effort from them to get this Zendesk working and learning it and adjusting it to what they need, but they knew there will be on the other side within 7 days or less. So that was really important for their team, feeling confident in moving forward with the project and being committed to the project. Same with Airspace. Airspace actually had a very difficult challenge with how Zendesk handles emails. And they were trying to make it work more like a standard email client, but they couldn't get it work. And Zendesk themselves weren't really able to offer any solutions. That's an account with more than 200 agents running the operations of the company on Zendesk. So imagine Airspace is doing logistics for, let's say, a hospital in the East Coast needs to transfer an organ to a hospital in the West Coast. They need a same-day transfer of the organ. That's what Airspace does. So obviously, Zendesk is a critical part of their business, and we have helped them make their Zendesk project successful and get it working the way they need it and the way their customers needed it to work. SmartRike is an e-commerce brand. They have several e-commerce stores, and they were looking to consolidate the support of all those stores into a single platform. So they switched from Salesforce into Zendesk, and they eventually managed to cut their time per ticket significantly, going to under a minute from starting at 5 minutes when they were using Salesforce. Built is also another customer that we helped get started with Zendesk. They were moving from another platform called Gladly into Zendesk, and they were trying to get the project started, and they were having big difficulty understanding what the game plan needs to be, what steps they need to take to make the move successful. And by presenting a game plan and providing them with a roadmap of what they need to do in order to get Zendesk working for them, we were able to go through phase one, which is setting up Zendesk, setting up all the channels, and connecting and training their agents on how to use Zendesk. And then go into phase two, which was the data migration, the automation, chatbots, automatic routing. So imagine someone would write in over email or over free text messages. They are now able to get the message to the right agent without a supervisor that's allocating the messages to the right team. That's done automatically as well. So we really help them get through phase one and go live with Zendesk. And same for Insta-Telehealth. Insta-Telehealth is a mental support provider in the East Coast, and they were paying Zendesk for 1.5 years. They weren't able to implement it successfully by themselves. And we have helped them get started with Zendesk also in 7 days and start getting something out of what they were paying Zendesk. And again, I think what's really important, the biggest takeaway, is that we never say to you that something is impossible, and we make Zendesk work for you. We find the ways to make Zendesk work for you and do whatever it takes to make it so that Zendesk does the work for you and you are not working for the system. And other than that, I think it's really important to avoid the learning curve and focus on your core activities. And essentially the idea is that your Zendesk will be operational much sooner. The project will be successful inside the company. You will feel empowered, confident, and motivated that this is going the right way. Your CRM will be integrated. You won't have to use any engineering resources to get this working, and you will have all the data you need for your agents. You will have a comprehensive training plan for your team and your admins, for your agents and your admins, which is tailored specifically to how your Zendesk is implemented. You will train your staff through video. You'll be able to train the current staff and also the future staff that you will have in the future. You will get expert support from us for the month after you launch, because we know that most of the questions come up during the first month. So we help you with support to make sure that you can iterate quickly and you can make changes as you go. You will be able to definitely see and prove the ROI on Zendesk to your management. You will be able to evolve the platform with your team, and you will be able to add the right tools and the right features at the right time. And eventually we'll solve more requests with less employees, and you will feel successful and motivated because you're only focusing on what matters to you and to your customers. All right, so how does it work? We basically have three plans for you to choose from, depending on your Zendesk plan. So assuming you already got Zendesk, you are in one of their plans, and you need to set up Zendesk according to the feature set of that plan. So our first plan, Zendesk Express, is for companies using the Suite Team and the Suite Growth plans. So the plan that costs $50 and the plan that costs $80 per agent per month. That's the starting point for Zendesk. The Zendesk Express Plus plan is for companies using the Suite Pro and the Suite Enterprise plans. Those plans cost $100 a month if you're on the Pro and $150 a month if you're on the Enterprise plan. And then on top of that, if you need more features, more customized integration, or a complete customized done for you service, we offer the Zendesk Enterprise option. So in terms of how this works, we start with scoping your project. So we start with the scoping form, and then we go on to a kickoff call where we discuss your needs from Zendesk. We make sure to tailor the setup to your individual goals and needs, and we then start the project and plan the next steps. After we've agreed on the scoping and we made sure that we understand your needs from Zendesk, we spring into action and we start your Zendesk, configuring your Zendesk. So we install the Zendesk, we create the CRM integration if necessary, we set up the workflows, and we do all of that within 7 days. After 7 days, we hold a review call where we go over with you, we cover everything that we've done in your account. We essentially hand over the account for you, and from there you can provide us feedback and we'll make tweaks and fine-tune everything that's related to the Zendesk setup that we've already done for you. And you're starting to onboard your agents, and you start your agent and admin training. At this point, you will use our video library and learning paths to train your team on how to use Zendesk, and we offer a step-by-step demonstration of how to use each area of the platform. After you finish the agent onboarding, we meet for a go live meeting. Normally, this is a meeting that covers everything that's specific to your needs. So any question you have on how you need to use Zendesk, on customizing Zendesk for your needs, on specific features that's the time to ask those questions in the Go Live meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to clear everything that stands in the way between you and starting to use Zendesk. And after that meeting, you should go live with Zendesk with your customers. So you should start answering your customers in Zendesk. During the first month, after you went live, we provide support for any questions you have with Zendesk, any questions that come up. We know that most of the difficulties come up during the first month, so we provide support over email during that first month, and we also provide office hours. So twice a week, you can join a live Zoom call and get my help on everything that's related to Zendesk, how you can use it, how you can tailor it to your needs. Instead of going through email or going through Zendesk support and waiting on the live chats, you have twice a week, we have a Zoom call and you can join and ask any questions that you might have. Our Zendesk game plan is run through monday.com. You can see you'll get access to this dashboard. You will be able to see everything that we are going to do for you, and you will also be able to track the status of every task and know where we stand on it. And that's basically the breakdown of the plans. You can see that in the Express, we cover the basic Zendesk setup, the channel integrations, basic automations and workflows. If you need WhatsApp, we'll provide you with improved WhatsApp capabilities. We have e-commerce integrations available here, and we also guide you on how to integrate your CRM if you're interested to do that. We train you on reports, we set up ticket classification, we train you on macros, we help with agent onboarding, and we provide support for the first month. The Express Plus package adds a bit more. We set up your email template, we set up advanced automations and workflows, we set up the Zendesk chatbot for you, and we also set up the CRM integration for you. We will create a report, a CX overview report that will allow you to see all the important metrics on your CS team. We will also help you with migration. So if you're transferring from another platform, we'll transfer your macros, we'll transfer your help center articles, and we'll also help set up your help center. If you have multi-brand, we'll also set that up under that plan. And again, agent onboarding and support. And basically, enterprise is everything that needs to be more customized. If you need us to create custom workflows, if you need us to create more customized integration for your CRM, that's where you will fall. That's the plan you need. If you need custom chatbots, that's what you need. If you need custom help center, that's what you need. So all of that is under the enterprise setup plan. Now, in terms of the CRM integration, like we said before, you could do it manually or you could rely on engineering. Now you can get either out-of-the-box integrations, or we can create no-code integrations for you to be used by your business users. We already have turnkey integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, Segment, Salesforce, Jira, Klaviyo, HubSpot, and Magento. That's how it looks. Specifically, that's the Shopify integration. You can see the customer details, you can see the orders. That's the WooCommerce integration. Again, you can see the customer details and the orders. In case we need to create a custom integration or your app is not on the turnkey integration list, we use make.com to build that integration for you. So we'll build the CRM integration. We'll sync users from your CRM into Zendesk, and we'll also sync tickets from your Zendesk to your CRM. So you can have a reference that someone contact you in the CRM, and you can have all of their customer details in Zendesk. And eventually this, when a user creates a ticket, you will be able to see all their interactions, you will be able to see all their profile, all of that in Zendesk. For onboarding your staff, like we said before, you could have used the training, you could just invent your training, or you could buy expensive Zendesk courses. And now you can use our learning path to get your agents up to speed fast. We include training for general training for the agents. We include triggers and automation training, workflow training for admins, reporting and BI training, custom fields and advanced configuration, and training on how you can create content, knowledge bases, and predefined responses. And we are also providing your admins with embedded training inside of Zendesk. So this is our YouTube library. It contains all of our tutorials. We'll give you the roadmap, the learning path on which one you need to watch at every step of the way. And when you're inside of Zendesk, we also have this onboarding features to show you the right training at the right page. So imagine you're watching the triggers page, then you will be able to see the triggers video explanation and some written training on triggers. And then the fourth thing that will help you solve is help after lunch. So normally before lunch, you only had access to Zendesk support or your contractor if they would answer you. And now you get a committed expert advice during your first 30 days that you're using Zendesk. You get access to our office hours twice per week to ask questions and get live assistance. You also get help over email. So we really want to make sure that the feedback loop for you is as short as possible, the shortest possible. And so we try to help you as much as we can during that first month when the majority of the issues come up, to make sure that you can iterate fast and make the most out of your Zendesk lunch. And then the last thing that you need to solve for is the 1 year game plan for Zendesk. So normally you would be left alone after your implementation, and now you can rely on our expertise with more than 100 Zendesk projects to create a clear game plan for you also after the initial implementation. So after 1 month, we start looking at data migration. If you came from another platform, that's what we look at after 1 month. 3 months in, we'll meet to have internal results review. So we'll look at agent productivity, we'll look at why people are reaching out to you, and we'll also look at the cost per ticket. From there, we'll figure out the right solutions for you, and normally 6 months in, we'll start implementing automation. So voice to messaging, if people are calling you, we'll try to send them over to text as much as possible, chatbots for your live chat and your messaging, agent workflows automation, specifically with routing to get the right request to the right person at the right time. And eventually 12 months in, we will measure your ROI and we will show how your results have improved, your KPIs have improved, like you've seen on our case studies, and eventually you will see your cost per ticket improving. All right, so this is our offer. If you were to do it any other way, if you were to do it with Zendesk, for example, or independently, the cost of the implementation would have been at least 20K up to 35K. You can see, if you go into the Zendesk material, you can see the launch packages. If you were to build your own CRM integration, that would cost you between $7,500 to $15,000 for the development cost of your engineering or the Zendesk professional services development cost. If you were to train your team with the Zendesk training offering, that would cost you $16,000. That's the cost of their training offerings. And if you were to get expert support from Zendesk during launch for 30 days after launch, that would cost you $5K just for the Zendesk Premier support. And the 1 year game plan and access to tools includes at least $15,000 in discounts, and obviously save time and money on selecting the wrong products. And our price is 1/10 of the time and money of any other option. So book a call with us today and we'll get your Zendesk moving forward. It's really important to note we have bandwidth for 5 new customers per month. So it's really important, if you're interested in that, book a call right now and let's get this started. So what we are giving you is the Zendesk implementation, the backend platform, the training and onboarding, expert support, and the 1 year game plan. And we are also adding bonuses. So we'll provide you free admin training calls. So we'll train your admin on Zendesk for free. That's $5,000 of a bonus that we normally sell this for. We'll also provide you with access to an agent productivity app that will allow you to measure the productivity of your team, of your agents, and make sure that they are performing as you need them to be. That app normally costs $4,000 per year for every 10 agents, but you will get this for free for the lifetime of your contract. And we'll also provide you with the Zendesk no-code admin course that's worth about $5,000, and that will help your admin manage and build further integration with Zendesk based on make.com. So the total value of everything that we are providing here is between $75,000 to $100,000. If you were to do it any other way, if you were to do it yourself, or if you were to use any other vendor on the market, and our price is really a tenth of the time and the money of any other option. So book a call with us today. We also have a money back guarantee. If for any reason you're not happy with your Zendesk implementation, let us know. Obviously we'll try fixing it, but if it still doesn't work, then we'll happily refund your money within the first month. The only thing we care about is that Zendesk works for you and having satisfied customers. So basically, as we said, we're providing you total value of between $75,000 to $100,000. We only have 5 setups available, room for 5 setups available per month, and we have a 30-day money back guarantee for any reason. So book a call with us today and let's get your Zendesk moving forward. Now we probably have some questions, so I'll go over the frequently asked questions, and if you still have any questions after that, feel free to reach out and book a call and we'll be happy to answer them. So are there any long-term contracts? So the answer is no. You only pay once for the setup fee. If you decide to purchase your Zendesk licenses through us, then you'll pay us the same amount you pay Zendesk. And this way we can also give you ongoing support, not just during the first month. But in any other case, you only pay the setup fee. How do you justify the cost to your boss? So you can calculate your hourly rate and assume it's going to take you at least 20 hours to just learn Zendesk and start getting stuff set up, so you can quickly calculate the ROI. Is support included? So yes, like we said, we provide support regarding the setup and the videos, and we are happy to help you with any Zendesk related questions you have. For the first month, that's included in the setup, and then after the first month, we have paid support options. What are the exact terms of the guarantee? So if at any point during the first 30 days you're unhappy with the service for any reason, let us know. We'll obviously try to fix it and make it work for you. If you're still not happy, we'll refund your payment in full. How do I know your guys are legit? How do I know you're accredited? So we're a certified Zendesk partner. You can actually find us on the Zendesk marketplace. If you look up Adelante, we're actually, hold on a second, let's do that right now. Yeah, so if you go over here, Zendesk marketplace, partners, so you can see we're actually the first result here on Zendesk. So we are accredited. We have 41 reviews here. We've done more than 100 projects, and you can see all of our testimonials over here, and we obviously got the Zendesk accreditations as well. And next question, do you need access to my Zendesk account? So we only need access during the initial setup. Afterwards, you can change your password and we don't need to maintain any ongoing access to your Zendesk. So we might not have case studies in your industry or migrating from your platform. So how do you know this will work for you? So really the implementation methods within the framework are industry agnostic. An e-commerce website, a fintech company, a construction company, they all need to go through the same 5 stages implementing Zendesk. So obviously the CRM might change, the backend might change, but everything else is, or let's say the ideas are industry agnostic. You might use a different CRM, that's our job. We learn the CRM and we help you integrate it with Zendesk. But if you keep waiting for a case study in your vertical, it's like waiting to develop a feature only after you've seen a competitor deploy it, and you want to be the first from your vertical to do this, and you want to go fast and you want to move fast, and you don't want all your competitions to catch on and then you will be the one imitating them. So another question, how much time will my team need to invest? So usually watching our training materials take 1 or 2 hours. That's for the training process. After that, your team can start using Zendesk right away and learn the platform and provide feedback. This is a fraction of the time you will have to spend if you train your team any other way. How much time does your team need to invest during the setup, during the actual setup? So our setup packages, they do the heavy lifting on your behalf, and we save your team dozens of hours. Normally, you will need to have 3 Zoom calls with us spread throughout the week. And other than that, we'll be doing all the work, getting your Zendesk up and running really fast. So this is a fraction of the time. So normally a max of 3 hours you will spend with us. It's a fraction of the time you'll spend working with a freelancer, and it's a fraction of the time you'll spend going through the setup documentation by yourself. So what happens if you're not happy with the results? So in the unlikely case you're not happy with our results, let us know. We'll do our best to fix it. If you're still not happy, you can get a full refund within the first 30 days after we finish the implementation for you. It's really like number one priority for us is our customer satisfaction. So we do everything we can to make sure you're happy and successful. Next question, will my platform be customized or is this an off-the-shelf implementation? So the answer is a resounding yes. We will customize the platform to your needs. Over the years, we have established the processes that each business using Zendesk needs to have. We'll add automation and customization to those processes to make sure Zendesk works perfectly for you. And can you help with data migration? So yes, basic data migration is included in all of our packages, up to 500 records. So if you have a bunch of users in your old CRM, or you're a small shop, this will cover you. If you need more than 500 records, then we'll be happy to provide an offer to migrate your old data into Zendesk. And will this work for me if I need to use Zendesk not in English? Then yes, we run the implementation process in English, but you can adjust Zendesk to work perfectly for any language. The only thing that would remain in English is anything that's admin related that we set up, but everything that's exposed to your agents will be translated into your local language. That also works for right to left languages, so Hebrew and Arabic, that would also work for those languages as well. What's our process and how does it work? So we have gone through the process in the previous slide, but generally, like we said, we have a kickoff call, then we go into the setup, review call, you do the agent onboarding, we go on a go live call, and then you go live with Zendesk and we'll start getting support from us for the first month. Normally the whole thing up to the review call and handing over the account to you takes 7 days. So that's our process in a nutshell. What will my CRM integration do? So normally what we build is a CRM integration to sync your contacts or user from your primary platform, your marketing automation, your CDP, your CRM into Zendesk. We'll create user profiles, and sometimes, depending on what you need, we'll create customer events like add to cart events or email sending events. And so feel free to let us know what you need on top of that. Depending on what your primary platform is, we'll have different ways of displaying the data to the agent. So let us know if you need something more advanced than that, and we'll take care of you. Next question, I already implemented Zendesk, but it's not working properly. Can I still work with you? The answer is yes. We see many people that come to us, either they tried implementing Zendesk by themselves or they went with another implementation vendor and it didn't work properly. we can definitely help you get started with Zendesk the right way this time. It is important to note that we will most likely need to modify or redo the work that you or your previous implementation vendor did. So we'll consult with you to understand which parts you want to keep and which features you want to remove. Is my data secure? Then yes, you only need to provide us with your Zendesk access details during the setup. After that, you can change your login information. What if I'm in a different time zone? How do I get support? So we have support calls in the morning at EST morning time and at night and EST morning hours to accommodate everyone that needs help during different hours. And we'll also upload those calls to our content portal, and so you can watch them at real time at your convenience. And we also offer asynchronous email support. Are you certified by Zendesk? Yes, we just went over that. We're a certified Zendesk Premier implementation and reselling partner, the highest partner level in Zendesk. What happens after the setup is done? We'll keep helping you navigate the platform and suggest additional resources that can be useful over time. And like we discussed, we'll have checkpoints to review your progress after 1 month if you need data migration. If not, we'll just meet 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months after your setup to make sure you're getting the ROI from Zendesk. How do you set up your my CRM integration? So for your CRM integration, we might use a pre-built plugin on the marketplace, on the Zendesk marketplace, like Shopify, WooCommerce, or Magento, or Salesforce, or we can create a custom CRM integration for you. If we do end up creating a CRM integration for you, or we end up using a plugin, you can expect to pay somewhere between $10 to $30, maybe $50 per month, depending on your usage, for the CRM integration. In some cases, some of them is free, like the Salesforce and Shopify. Some of them are paid, like the WooCommerce, paid per agent. So it really varies between the different platforms, but we can provide you this information upfront. So what questions do people normally come up with during the first month of using Zendesk? So the most common questions that we see are changing the workflows, adding new workflows, email deliverability issues, etc. And it could really take days and weeks to figure this out independently, which is why we provide you with support during the first month of using Zendesk to make sure that you have a smooth sailing. What's the difference between your training and the standard training instruction? So using the standard Zendesk training, you're running aimlessly through videos, help articles, content that's not really useful. And we're providing you with a training plan to minimize your learning time and make the most value of the platform, cover any gaps in knowledge that you might have, with the most minimal investment you can make in both time and money. So what's the best way to train the whole team? So we discussed this previously. You will want to have one advocate within the team that will be the single point of contact for everything related to Zendesk, and that person will be training the rest of the team. So when looking at custom no-code CRM integrations, you might ask, are those CRM integrations or no-code platforms, are they safe? So depending on the platform you choose, you can even get like enterprise-grade security. For a fraction of the cost it would run you any other way. And if you're happy with just standard security, like really, really secure platforms, but not like with all the seals and the ISO badges, then you can pretty much work with any no-code solution. It's probably much safer than having a server running up at your company that's not really part of the product and just someone maintaining that integration on the side. So what's the difference between our setup and the standard Zendesk setup instructions? So the standard Zendesk setup instruction is generic. They tell you what you need to do, but not how to do it. And it's not customized for you. So you will still need to figure out which workflows you want to build and how you want to adjust them to your company. And on the other hand, having our tailored setup plan allows you to have specific instructions what you need to do from start to finish, and make sure you won't have to backtrack afterwards since you have done something wrong. So obviously we do the work for you, we provide you with guidance on anything you need to do yourself, like the training, and we make sure that you're on the right path from the beginning. And again, will this work for any vertical? Then yes, most businesses, they need the same team, they have the same jobs to be done when they are starting out with Zendesk. So your business might have small adjustments to make, but normally there is a baseline that everybody needs to cover when they are starting out, regardless of the industry. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I'm waiting to hear from you. So thank you very much and good luck.